deep in the jungle. In an undisclosed location. Dread Comics is proud to present the 1943 movie serial, The Phantom. The Phantom is an American adventure comic strip, first published by Lee Falk in February 1936. The main character, the Phantom, is a fictional costumed crime fighter who operates from the fictional African country of Bengala. The character has been adapted for television, film and video games. The series began with a daily newspaper strip on February 17, 1936, followed by a color Sunday strip on May 28, 1939. Both are still running as of 2020. In 1966, King Features stated that The Phantom was being published in 583 newspapers worldwide. At its peak, the strip was read by over 100 million people daily. Falk worked on The Phantom until his death in 1999. Since his death, the comic strip has been written by Tony DePaul. Since 2016, it has been drawn by Mike Manley, Monday to Saturday, and, since 2017, Jeff Weigel, Sunday. Previous artists on the newspaper strip include Ray Moore, Wilson McCoy, Bill Ligmant, Cy Berry, George Allison, Keith Williams, Fred Fredericks, Graham Nolan, Eduardo Barreto, Paul Ryan, and Terry Beatty. In the strip, the Phantom was 21st in a line of crime fighters which began in 1536, when the father of British sailor Christopher Walker was killed during a pirate attack. Swearing an oath on the skull of his father's murderer to fight evil, Christopher began a legacy of the Phantom which would pass from father to son. Nicknames for the Phantom include the Ghost Who Walks, Guardian of the Eastern Dark and the Man Who Cannot Die. Unlike many other superheroes, the Phantom has no superpowers. He totally relies on his strength, intelligence and the myth of his immortality to take action against the forces of evil. The 21st Phantom is married to Diana Palmer. They met while he studied in the United States and they had 2 children, Kit and Hello Eyes. He has a trained wolf named Devil and a horse named Hero, and like the 20 previous Phantoms he lives in the ancient Skull Cave. The Phantom was the first fictional hero to wear the skin-tight costume which has become a hallmark of comic book superheroes, and was the first shown in a mask with no visible pupils, another superhero standard. Comics historian Peter Coogan has described the Phantom as a transitional figure, since the Phantom has some of the characteristics of pulp magazine heroes such as the Shadow and the Spider and earlier jungle heroes such as Tarzan, as well as anticipating the features of comic book heroes such as Superman, Batman, and Captain America. After the success of Mandrake the Magician, King Features Syndicate tasked Falk to develop a new feature. His first effort was to write and draw a strip about King Arthur and his knights. When King Features rejected the strip, Falk developed the Phantom, a mysterious, costumed crime fighter. He planned the first few months of the story, and drew the first 2 weeks as a sample. Fascinated by myths and legends, such as King Arthur and El Cid, and the modern fictional characters Zorro, Tarzan and the Jungle Book's Mowgli, Falk envisioned the character as wealthy playboy Jimmy Wells by day and the crime-fighting Phantom by night. During his first story, The Singh Brotherhood, before disclosing that Wells was the Phantom, Falk changed the setting to a jungle and made the Phantom an apparently mortal, mythic figure. Thinking that there were already too many characters called the Phantom, including the Phantom Detective and find a name he liked better and decided to stay with the Phantom. In the A&E American cable TV documentary The Phantom, comic strip Crusader 12, Falk explained that Greek busts inspired him to knit the Phantom's pupils when the character was wearing his mask. He incorrectly believed that ancient Greek busts had no pupils, they were painted on originally and faded with time, which he said gave them an inhuman, awe-inspiring appearance. 9. In an interview for Comic Book Marketplace, Falk said the Phantom's skin-tight costume was inspired by Robin Hood, who wore tights in films and on stage. Falk was a Shakespeare enthusiast and the comic included several references to Shakespeare. These include the third Phantom playing Juliet in the original premiere of Romeo and Juliet, as well as marrying Shakespeare's niece. The Phantom began as a daily strip on February 17, 1936 with the Singh Brotherhood, written by Falk and drawn by him for 2 weeks and then by Ray Moore, assistant to artist Phil Davis on Mandrake the Magician. That year, The Phantom was serialized in the Australian Woman's Mirror. A Sunday Phantom strip was added on May 28, 1939. During World War II, Falk joined the Office of War Information, where he became chief of the Radio Foreign Language Division. Moore also served during the war and left the strip to his assistant, Wilson McCoy. When Moore returned, he worked sporadically on the strip until 1949, when McCoy succeeded him. During McCoy's tenure, The Phantom appeared in thousands of newspapers worldwide and was smuggled by boat into Nazi-occupied Norway during the war. Phantom was a password for the Norwegian resistance movement. McCoy died unexpectedly in 1961. Carmen Infantino and Bill Ligmant, who later drew several Phantom stories for comic books, filled in before a successor was found in Siberia. 21. During Barry's early years, he and Falk modernized the strip, laying the foundation for what is considered the Phantom's modern look. Under Barry, Bengal became a democracy and the character of President La Mandaluyga was introduced. Barry worked on the Phantom for over 30 years until his 1994 retirement, drawing a total of about 11,000 strips. His longtime assistant George Allison remained on the strip as penciler, with Keith Williams inking the daily strip. The Sunday strip was inked by Eric Dosher until Fred Fredericks succeeded him in 1995. Falk continued to script the Phantom and Mandrake until his death on March 13, 1999. His last daily and Sunday strip stories, Terror at the Opera and The Kidnappers, were finished by his wife Elizabeth after her husband pulled off his oxygen mask in the hospital to dictate the storyline. After Falk's death, King Features cooperated with European comic publisher Egmont, publisher of the Swedish Phantom magazine, which changed from publishing Phantom stories in comic book format to providing the newspaper strip as well, by adapting their own Phantom comic book stories into the strip format. Phantom and writers Tony DePaul and Claes Reimurthy alternated as writers of the newspaper strip after Falk died, with DePaul handling the daily strips and Reimurthy the Sunday ones. DePaul would later become the strip's sole writer. Some stories were adapted from those originally published in Phantom N. In 2000, Allison and Fredericks retired from the Sunday strip. It was continued by comic book artist Graham Nolan, who had drawn 3 Phantom covers. In early 2005, Allison and Williams left the daily strip after Allison retired, and artist Paul Ryan, who had worked on the Phantom and comic stories and had been a fan of the character since childhood, took over the daily strip. Ryan succeeded Nolan as artist on the Sunday strip in 2007. On July 31, 2011, Eduardo Barreto became the Sunday page artist. He died after only a few months, and Ryan temporarily took over the Sunday page again on January 15, 2012, which featured a memorial to Barreto. Ryan also did the following week's strip, before Terry Beatty became Barreto's replacement. Ryan died at his home unexpectedly on March 7, 2016. Mike Manley succeeded Ryan as artist on the Phantom, beginning with a strip dated May 30, 2016. Beatty stepped down as Sunday artist in 2017, and was replaced by Jeff Weigel. The Phantom is a 1943 Columbia Pictures 15-chapter black-and-white cliffhanger superhero serial, produced by Rudolph C. Flatow, directed by Reeves Eason, and starring Tom Tyler in the title role. It is based on Lee Falk's comic strip The Phantom, first syndicated to newspapers in 1936 by King Features Syndicate. The serial also features Jeanne Bates as the Phantom's girlfriend Diana Palmer, and Ace the Wonder Dog as the Phantom's trusty German Shepherd Devil, who is a wolf in the original comic strip. Professor Davidson plans an expedition to find the Lost City of Zoloz. The location of the city is contained on 7 pieces of ivory, 3 of which Davidson already possesses. Dr. Bremmer, however, intends to find the Lost City and use it as a secret airbase for his unnamed country. To remove him as an obstacle, He kills the Phantom, only for his recently returned son, Geoffrey Prescott, to inherit the family identity and take over the mantle of the Phantom. 3 of the remaining ivory pieces are owned by Singapore Smith, who initially steals Davidson's pieces. The 7th, and most important, piece is missing at first but turns up in the possession of Tartar, which the Phantom acquires by wrestling Tartar's pet gorilla. The Phantom starred Tom Tyler as both Geoffrey Prescott and the Phantom. Jeanne Bates would play Diana Palmer. Like most serials, the Phantom had a low budget. Most of the serial was filmed in the Hollywood Hills, which doubled as the African jungle. For the serial, the Phantom's real name is Geoffrey Prescott. In the comic strip, his real name had not yet been introduced. 1. The Phantom's real name was eventually introduced into the comic strip as Kit Walker. The Phantom tells Singapore Smith to call him Walker when he covers his costume with a hat, dark glasses, and an overcoat so he can enter civilization unobtrusively. And now, Dread Comics is proud to present The Phantom 1943 serial. Chapter 12. The Fangs of the Beast.
Search for the 7th ivory key, the Davidson expedition enters the forbidden domain of Tartar, ruler of Agida. The Phantom tries to bargain with Tartar for the missing segment to the map of Zoloz, when suddenly...
What's the meaning of this? What's happened?
The Phantom, Master. He attacked me and escaped.
You clumsy fool.
No, and it means my neck if he isn't caught. Open up so I can take a look down below.
Phantom go?
You lost your mind?
How do you expect to find him in the jungle from the dead of the night?
Yeah, but you know what the Tartar will do to us when he finds out that we let the Phantom escape.
Did you forget about Carrick, who's on his way to capture Sapphire? Carrick will get the Phantom when he returns to his friends. Come on.
Moko worried. Phantom gone too long.
Probably he and Tartar have struck up a friendship. I bet he got the 7th key from him, and he's halfway to Zoloz by now.
I don't know why you take such a nasty attitude. The Phantom's doing all he can to help us. What is it, Devil?
Maybe him smell animal. Moko get water and scare them away. Tao! Tupabo! Bao! Where are Get in shadows, away from fire.
Get back in there. Thank heaven you got here. Where's Diana? There in the tent. Diana. Diana! She was there just a moment ago. You search over there. I'll take a look around on this side. Professor! Over here! Quick!
Master! Bad Tartar men come.
Where is she? Where's Diana? There's a hat. Why, she can't be far away.
Maybe they take her to Tartar.
I'll try to head them off, but if I can't, I'll follow them back to the castle.
Moko don't like you go back there alone.
Don't worry, Moku. Byron, the man who attacked you is Karak, leader of Tartar's men. Hold him prisoner.
Professor Davidson! Devil, him hurt! Him hurt bad.
He's been hit on the head. Seems to be coming out of it, though. No word of the Phantom yet?
No, Master.
I hope for Rafa's sake that he soon recaptures him.
No sign of the Phantom. I'm dead tired. I can't search for him any longer.
Don't worry. Carrick has nabbed him and his friends by this time. They'll all be here before sunrise.
I hope you're right. I'm afraid to face Tartar and tell him I've failed.
And I'll be glad to go in with you. Greetings, gentlemen.
Get inside. Close the portal. Tartar will sure be glad to see you again. Master, I have captured the Phantom.
Here's a liar. I returned here on my own free will.
If that be the truth, then you're either a fool or a very brave man.
Rafa, you know the consequences if you lie.
Did you actually capture this man and bring him back here?
No, Master.
Get out of my sight! Tell me, Phantom, why have you come back here?
To suggest an exchange of prisoners. You're holding Miss Palmer, and I've got your lieutenant.
What do you expect to gain by that crazy tale? I'm not in the habit of abducting women.
Let go of me! Let go of me!
Not much you aren't.
Guards, release that girl.
Phantom, please help me.
I'm sorry about this. Believe me, I gave no orders to have this girl captured and brought here.
Then release her at once and let me take her back to her friends.
Just a moment. You said something a while ago about an exchange of prisoners.
That doesn't apply now, since by your own admission, you do not consider this girl a prisoner.
True enough. But you must admit, she does make a very fine hostage.
Look, Doctor, I came here originally on a mission of peace. I wanted to make a trade with you for a piece of ivory that meant nothing to you but much to me.
So you said.
Yes, but you refused to believe me. Try to kill me and then send out to kill my friends.
You know my laws. Those who trespass my domain must suffer the consequences.
My only desire is to keep the peace of the jungle. Yours, I believe, to be a just ruler over your own domain.
That's right.
Then why shouldn't we be allies instead of enemies?
Very well, then. You shall stay on here as my guests, not as my prisoners, until Kerak is returned.
That's fair enough. I'll write a note to my friends. They won't release Kerak without it.
Well, how will they know that you actually wrote it?
I'll seal it with my signet ring.
All right. You may write your letter. Guard, bring pen and paper.
Tartar's mad to break the law that protected us all these years. You're right. He makes friends with a few strangers now. Many more may come later.
Maybe he's falling for the charms of that girl.
Too bad. There's nothing we can do. Or is there?
Looks authentic enough to me. It carries the Phantom's mark.
It's his mark, all right. But it could have been put there by someone else.
We'll have to take a chance on that. It's the only way to get Diana back. Kerak will be ready to leave with you presently. Moko, come here, please.
You called Moko?
Yes. Your master wants us to turn our prisoner over to these men. They are going to take him back to where the Phantom and my niece are now waiting.
Moko understand. Phantom's smart. Make Tartar trade prisoner.
I hope the Phantom isn't letting Tartar make a fool of him.
I'll take a chance on the Phantom. You gentlemen go with Moko. He'll turn the prisoner over to you.
This way.
Judging by what you've just told me, the men who are interfering with you and your friends don't want you to reach Zoloz. Very likely they, too, are after the treasure supposed to be hidden there.
But my uncle's not looking for any treasure. He's searching for the lost city in the interests of science and culture.
And I don't think that those men are after any treasure either.
Oh? How do you figure that?
Simply because instead of trying to keep us from getting it, it would have been smarter for them to let us find it and then take it away.
Is it possible that they have already discovered Zoloz and have found some secret use for the city?
I'm sure you're right. I felt that way about it for a long time.
We have just returned with Kerak.
Good. Bring him in. I thought you said Kerak was alive.
He was when I left him.
He was dead when we found him, and we had to fight to take him away.
That's a lie. Why should I have asked you to send for him if I knew he was dead?
Look at the mark on his chin.
That's the imprint of your ring.
He attacked me and I defended myself. But I know I didn't kill him.
Just the same, I don't propose to exchange a live hostage for a dead one.
Then you don't leave me any choice. Step back, all of you.
Don't be a fool. You may shoot me and some of my men. What do you think will happen to you and the girl when you've run out of bullets?
All right. What's your proposition to let her go?
For the amusement of myself and my men, I would like you to fight my champion, powerful Brutus.
All right, Harder. But on one condition. Win, lose, or draw, this girl goes free.
I agree. I have no interest in her.
And in addition, you will allow the Professor Sapphire to continue on its way, unmolested.
Agreed. Now, give me your guns. The contest must be fair to both opponents. I give you my word, you'll be treated fairly. Rafa, sound the gong. Summon the guards to the arena. Let Brutus enter.
The seventh key.
Why, Phantom, you're not losing your nerve, are you?
Stop it! Stop it!
Has Byron turned traitor? And will Bremmer succeed with his evil plans? Don't fail to see The Road to Zoloz, the next absorbing episode of The Phantom, at this theater next week.